To start, if you are new to modding, I highly suggest that you watch my previous video, Introduction into 2K Modding. There's a lot of stuff that is not going to be explained because you need to just watch that video. If you never modded before, ever, first time, you need to watch that video. It explains in detail what tools are, file formats, structures, and all those different things. This tutorial is specifically on for Cakeview, how to bake, and how to set up your files. So the first thing you're going to do is you should have gotten two download links, one for Cakehook and another for Cakeview. So make sure you add the Cakeview plugins and the .dl to your just copy these into your 2K24 directory. That's all you need to do, and you should be good. Remember, if you don't have that, your stuff is not going to work. Your modded cakes is not going to read. All right, so last year, if you remember, or if you don't remember, we used to bake like big folder 51, big folder 52, big fit 53. This year we don't necessarily need to do that. Pretty much what we can do now is just organize different cakes and things like that. So what I've done is put together full mods folder for beginners. So all you have to do is just download that, copy this into your mods folder, and you should be set for your folder structures. Now once you open the mods folder, notice how there's going to be directories. Now in the past this would be bake 51, bake 52, bake 53, 54, and so on. But now since Cakeview is changed, basically all you need to do is just open these up, and this is where your stuff is going to be held. So I open up my arenas. Here's my arena stuff, and here's my environment stuff would go, and things like that. Now for characters, this one I'm doing for Cakeview for stuff we want to replace. You just go in there and add your mod and bake it, and it should be good. Now this one is from meta. If you have meta, your characters, this is where you're gonna put all your meta JSFBs at for your SDB. Put that in there. Same thing for meta characters for people you want to add into the game. This is for organizational purposes. Like I was saying before, this is how it used to look last year. It used to be bake 51, bake 52. That's how it used to look. But now this year we replace them with these names, and when you open them, they subfolders, and that's pretty much what the game reads as the directory. So if you open up your directory, now what you're going to do is you're going to hit open directory when you open up Cakeview, and then go to 2K24 and hit select folder. Now what it's done is open all your cakes. You don't have to open one cake one by one. You can actually open them all at the same time. Now notice when we go into this, look at the side. Notice how you see arena, you see characters. If you are replacing things in the games, this is how exactly your file structure needs to be. If you're exporting JSFBs, this is exactly how it needs to be. Notice the path right here. Notice how it says characters mapping JSFB. That's exactly how it needs to be for the game to be able to read it. And like I was saying, I have this structure for you so you can just plop the stuff where it needs to go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a mod into the game. Shout out to, I think his name is Descripts. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm sorry. But basically he has the new Jey Uso, and we're going to put that in our game. So we got Jey Uso backlash. We're going to put him in the game. Notice how it's in the folder. Notice it's inside this folder here. Now if we go into Cakeview and go to characters, we're going to see the exact same structure. Now if we open up Cake Tools and go into characters, we're going to find Jey Uso's folder, exactly how the mod is set up. So if we go to 333, Jey Uso is the exact format how it's in characters. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this into our characters. You see this character folder, we're going to put that in there. Now this is very important, because now if we were to just leave this like inside this subfolder in here, if we were going to put the mod in here, the game is not going to read it. The game is not going to read these files in here, because if you notice in Cake Tools, Jey Uso's folder is inside the characters folder. So if you're replacing things, it needs to be exactly how it's set in the game. Most of the stuff is going to be already set up. Like for characters go to characters. For arenas, it's pretty much set up for you to just put the arena in arenas and things like that. So that is exactly why I made these subfolders this way, and we're going to show you how to bake them. And the same thing for renders too. It's renders, asset, I'll show it real quick. So you go to UI, assets, roster, type A. This is where all your renders are at. So if you're gonna replace a render that's in game, you have to make sure it's exactly in the same, and you can see the file location in the top. So all you have to do is make sure you follow that. I did it halfway for you. So what you would do is just to assets, make sure you put a roster folder here, then put a type A, and then put the render here. That's pretty much how you do that. And then now to bake, now this is super important. To bake, what we're going to do is hit new bake up here. Now we're going to go to where we have our mods. Notice how we're going to focus on this one because that's where we had it. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to hit select folder. Now to make your life easier, just name it exactly what you have it in your folder structure, so you know. Again, this is all for organizational purposes. So now what I'm going to name it is Cakeview CH. This is where all my characters I'm replacing with Cakeview are going to go. I baked that. Bam. And notice now we have a new modded cake right here. So last year, this would be essentially 51 cake, but since we baked this folder, basically all we did was bake this folder, and now it's its own modded cake, right? And if you open that up, what's in there? The characters folder with Wwe Uso. Now, same thing if we're gonna do the same thing with our other folders. Renders, we're gonna open that up, select folder, bake, name it renders. And bam, we have our renders and our cake folders. Another thing too you need to remember is make sure you don't name these any of the folders that go inside of these folders. Notice how this one is named arenas and not arena, because this is a folder that's actually being used by Cake Hook, and it's going to cause issues. Basically the game's not going to be able to read it. So make sure your folders here are not named anything inside of it. So for renders, I'm not going to name this a UI folder. I'm going to name this renders and then put the UI stuff in there. Also, I had this here because I am in a meta Discord, and this is for meta. I made this for people who use meta, so don't worry about this if you don't have meta. Basically, you can put files anywhere you want them to, but for you to replace, you're gonna have to put them exactly how I showed you before with the exact place. But then, and also the cool thing too with meta, when you make your changes, you can just hit the home page and just click rebake on the side to bake even faster. Super nice touch. Bam, character's big, and then you can also just play the game here to launch it, and then you should be good to go. So if you want to search for stuff, you can just use this search function up here. Home in, hit search, find all the files and things like that, folders, like that. And to make sure to see if your cake stuff work, make sure you just open the cake, go to your mods, go in here, Cakeview characters, and bam, you'll see that Wwe Uso is baked in there. This is the new attire, as you can see. Updated backlash attire. Now his default attire. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment down below. I will not be providing any support in the comments here. If you need help, please go to the associated Discord and get you some help in that situation.
Step into Digigod's world, you'll never wanna leave. He's the king of the ring, the master of the game, believe. With every video drop, he's taking it to the top, giving you that WWE vibe that can't be stopped. Big moves, big plays, he's the champ of the day. It's a fly, join the tribe, it's the Digigod way. From the virtual ring to the power of the mic, Digigod's got the skills to make you feel alright. With his energy and passion, he's taking it to the sky, giving you that WWE gaming fix, no need to ask why. Whoa.